don't win anymore. We don't make good deals anymore.
We are going to make America great again.
We have to look at ISIS as the leading threat of an international terror network. This is an incredibly complicated region of the world.
Welcome to the 2016 presidential debate. We are going to start off with questions on the legislation dealing with fiscal policy. Based on the Employment Act of 1946, which states that the government is charged with the responsibility to use its power to create maximum employment, how would you both create maximum employment if you became president? We will start with Mr. Trump.
I will create maximum employment by using tax cuts on the wealthy, which will create a trickle-down effect, which will create more jobs. By using these tax cuts on the wealthy will be able to use their money more freely, enabling them to create more jobs for the people.
Well, in the past, this has created high inflation, which will help no one.
Wrong. The first thing you need to know about the Phillips curve, as I've drawn right here, is that at any level of unemployment, we will always have higher levels of inflation. So if you look at the Phillips curve, when inflation is high, unemployment will be low. In the event that the government doesn't make any further action with my plan, there are built-in stabilizers. The built-in stabilizers are anything which tends to increase government deficits during a recession and increase surplus during inflation.
What Mr. Trump isn't mentioning is aspects of stagflation, which is when the Phillips curve shifts outward. He is not talking about the fact that there is a chance that negative supply shocks could occur, which is when there is simultaneous high levels of unemployment and high levels of inflation. As president, I would maximize the creation of Council of Economic Advisors, which was established to aid the president. I would then...
No, you wouldn't. I know all about what would happen if the Phillips curve shifts outwards. One way to keep that from happening is to make sure that there are no higher price expectations.
Mr. Trump, you can't cut off Mrs. Clinton. Mrs. Clinton, please continue.
Like I was saying before I was rudely interrupted, I will utilize my Council of Economic Advisors to help create a discretionary fiscal policy. I will also implement the Humphrey-Hawkins Act, which will reaffirm the Employment Act of 1946.
Do you want to elaborate as to how you plan on making sure that there are no higher price expectations?
Well, there are primitive expectations, which is when waves of optimism and pessimism spread across the country. I guarantee that there are going to be some major waves after this election. Then there are adaptive expectations, which is when someone forms expectations based on past observations of a variable. Prices have gone up steadily while there have been political insiders in office. I'm a political outsider, so if I win, there will be enough change in current policies to make most people think that there will be a change in prices. Lastly, there's rational expectations, which is when you form expectations based on all variables. Everyone knows that I can always deliver on my real estate under time and under budget because I am efficient and I know that this country has tremendous potential.
Unless it's a casino and you file for bankruptcy.
Okay.
All right, let's stay on topic.
For the second question, I want to talk about what Ms. Clinton was just referring to, the discretionary fiscal policy. I want to know whether you are in favor of expansionary fiscal policy or contractionary fiscal policy, and why. We will begin with Mrs. Clinton.
I am in favor of contractionary fiscal policy. We need to continue using the cyclically balanced budget, which is when the budget is balanced over the business cycle. I believe that we need to cut government spending to reduce some of the debt we are currently in. We need to focus on getting the United States to a lower national debt.
To start off, I'd just like to say that Mrs. Clinton is completely wrong. She has no idea what she's talking about when it comes to the economy. If she uses the contractionary fiscal policy, she is trying to fight inflation. As I said earlier, if she lowers the inflation, there will be higher unemployment. One of my main goals is, if I become president, is to lower unemployment. One tool to fight unemployment is to use expansionary fiscal policy, which is to increase government spending and cutting taxes. As I've stated before, I plan on increasing military spending and cutting taxes on the wealthy in order to create this expansion of the economy.
Well, that's all the time we have for tonight's presidential debate. Thank you for tuning in.